The DuckTales ticket giveaway today.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test.
Above the world so high, like a diamond in...
Need to redo your room? For a limited time, if you find this certificate in marked boxes, you win $10,000 for a room makeover.
Knighted by the Queen, an employee of the BBC, a national treasure and a paedophile celebrity.
Lost media has long captivated the online community as enthusiasts tirelessly search for elusive pieces of media buried deep within the internet's depths. These quests range from finding lost TV shows and video games to tracking down vanished movies. But what exactly qualifies as lost media? According to internet parlance, lost media encompasses any media that is non-existent, missing, or inaccessible to the general public. The origins of lost media can often be traced back to its unreleased status. It might be an elusive demo, an unreleased track, an unaired script, or in some unfortunate cases, deliberately destroyed material. It is this very obscurity that ignites a sense of curiosity in individuals and propels them to embark on a quest to uncover these lost gems. Today, I stumbled upon 5 pieces of lost media that fascinated me, and I couldn't resist sharing them all with you. Some of you may already be familiar with these entries, while others may be encountering them for the first time. Regardless, I hope you all enjoy this video as we delve into the intriguing realm of lost media. The first PlayStation was quite the console for its time. Released in 1994, the PS1 hosted a variety of different games, from Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, Tekken, Rayman. The PS1 had its gems. It was my first official console that I attained when I was young. Even though the PS2 had already been out, I always seemed to be one console behind whenever a new one would already be released. But that's okay, because among all the PS1 games that I played, there were 2 that I seemed to enjoy more than the rest. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. I played the hell out of these games when I was younger. I have so many vivid memories of me playing these games. These 2 games were my first 3D platformers when I was younger, and I had a blast playing them. Even till this day, I still see the new updated versions of Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, and even played them a couple of times. However, even though younger me played a majority of the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro games growing up, there is one that I don't quite remember being a thing. I'm going to show you guys a commercial and tell me if any of you guys have any memory of this commercial growing up, because I certainly don't.
Oh, sweet.
You can access Crash and Spyro online games at candystand.com with game cards from specially marked boxes of Capri Sun fruit rolls.
Between April 12th and May 22nd, 2004, an online browser minigame collection would be launched on a website called candystand.com. The game would be called Crash Bandicoot and Spyro Adventure World. It was created as a cross-promotion with Nabisco and Crash Bandicoot Purple, Ripto's Rampage, and Spyro Orange, the Cortex Conspiracy on the Game Boy Advance. The minigames on the online browser were unlocked by the use of codes found on cards from specially marked packages of Nabisco snack products. The commercial I showed earlier was a commercial promoting the Snacks and website, claiming you can access these games by finding cards in specially marked boxes of Capri Sun fruit rolls. Every card boasted a unique design adorned with a Crash or Spyro character on the front, accompanied by a unique number. On the reverse side of each card, a redemption code was provided, offering access to the exclusive online games. But what I found most fascinating is that on the back of the card, it disclosed that there existed a grand total of over 90 different card designs, and as of today, only 22 out of the 90 plus cards have been discovered. There was a small archived discussion board around these cards back in 2004, with many users sharing their card collections and what cards they got out of the boxes. Also, recently back in April 2022, there was a user asking if anybody had these cards in good condition and is willing to buy if you do have any of them. So if any of you have these cards, you might be able to make a quick buck. Now, you're probably wondering how many of the actual games are found today on these cards. Well, none, but they're all lost. Not a single one of these games that you got from the cards has any archived footage of these games. We know the names, but we have no footage of the actual online games. Only screenshots of how the games looked. No archives are known to exist, leaving all 7 minigames as lost media. The online websites and promotion of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro Adventure World was shut down on April 4th, 2005, which pretty much means you only had 1 year to go on this website, which is why so much of it is lost media. The original Candy Stand website has been archived, but it doesn't show too much, just tells you to log in, which you can't. Now, as of March 2016, Candy Stand was rebranded as PCH Games, which is a gambling website. Nonetheless, the online game of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro Adventure World remains till this day known as lost media. Over the years, YouTube has established its presence as a prominent platform, capturing the attention of millions worldwide. Throughout its excessive history, the platform has encountered its fair share of controversies, many of which have been diligently covered on this very channel. However, nestled within the early stages of YouTube's development lies an incident that has seemingly faded from collective memory, or remains unknown to many. Spanning from 2007 to 2009, a particular content creator emerged, causing a stir within the community and sparking noteworthy controversy.
He's supposed to, and we have these fucking Muslims, these atheists, these Jehovah's Witnesses, these tools of Satan, these troopers of Satan, these monsters, these demons, these subhuman monkeys that's trying to destroy the Christian religion. They're going against God. They're going against Jesus. We have to take a stand. We have to stand up for what Jesus did. He died on the cross. He was tortured, beaten, spit on, made fun of, mocked, like we're getting mocked. We have to stand together. these fucking Muslims are gonna strap bombs to their bodies. They're gonna come at us. They're gonna try to blow us up. These fucking atheists are gonna sit back and insult us, call us insane.
Anthony Powell, aka Tony48219, was a controversial YouTuber who was most active during those earlier days of YouTube. He was well known for some questionable discussions that he would upload. He often discussed matters about religion and debates about certain topics that revolved around atheists and black women. However, the way he expressed himself in the videos was what threw people off the most.
But let's get to the point. Now, you black women are getting on my nerves. You see why there's so many videos on YouTube about you bitches. Alright? Okay? You want us to talk about black men, and I'm gonna make my video next. Black men are worthless. I'm making that video next, man. Don't worry. And I'm gonna go off on that one. I've already been persecuting black men for the that they're doing. But I don't blame them, I blame you. You want to know why? Because you choose. You make the choice. You choose these type of men. You're attracted to these type of men. You're attracted to these no good motherfuckers that ain't gonna do shit to your ass because you want some kind of a challenge. You want some kind of a soap opera lifestyle. You want some goddamn...
He would often have a hostile or aggressive point of view when making these types of videos. Every one of these videos seemed to be him ranting about a topic that he found negatively. During his rise on YouTube, he began to receive even more exposure when he began to support another popular religious content creator going by the name Sean Kieran, also going by the name Venom Fang X.
Hello again. I'm just going to ask you a question. Do you believe that you came from goo, then to the zoo, then to you? That's simply not true, and I'm going to try and prove that to you.
Now, from the looks of things, you can say that it's just some guy upset about this topic, and he's simply voicing his opinion. However, things would begin to take an unpleasant turn. You see, throughout his 2-year tenure on YouTube, Tony found himself embroiled in escalating controversies, leading to frequent suspensions and the need to create new accounts. Consequently, Tony's emotional well-being began to deteriorate rapidly, causing him to become increasingly detached and mentally unstable. Concerns mounted among his audience when he openly expressed thoughts of suicide, sparking genuine worries about his mental state. Tony even stated that he owned a shotgun and was terrified of it, as he claimed things weren't going to be pretty. Regrettably, the tragic consequence of Tony's declining mental health would soon come to fruition. On April 13th, 2009, Tony Powell, who was 28 at the time and a student at Henry Ford Community College in Dearborn, Michigan, went to a Mackenzie Fine Arts Center. Tony was soon assigned to a classroom where he found a woman gone by the name Asia McGowan, a fellow student and YouTuber whom he knew from a theater course. But soon after this discovery, things would take a turn for the worse.
2 students are dead after what police believe was a...
Tony and Asia were found dead. It's said that Tony had ambushed and killed Asia with a shotgun and then turned the gun on himself while the building was being searched by police officers. Following the tragic shooting, the religious community and Venom Fang X united to offer condolences to McGowan and Powell's families.
Hi there everyone out there on YouTube. This video is concerning Tony48219. He was a user who has recently committed suicide after murdering a young woman. This is a tragedy and nothing but a tragedy. This is horrific, and if the families of either parties is watching this in whatever event, I want to express both my sympathy for what has happened as well as a few words of comfort.
They also engaged in discussions about the possibility of preventing the event, considering Powell's extreme beliefs and concerns about his mental health. given his history of depression as revealed by his parents. Once the dust settled, YouTube took down Tony's last remaining channels, the legend Tony48075 and Tony48219 LS Legendary, resulting in a majority of his videos becoming lost media. As of today, there are only a handful of clips of him out there on the internet, and with many forgetting about this incident, most of his videos were hidden in the deepest parts of the internet. South Park, a widely known and cherished TV show, holds a special place in the hearts of many. However, some of you might be aware that 2 particular episodes were the start of many censorships. As a comedy series, South Park primarily aims to entertain and provoke laughter. During the early 2000s, when humor and jokes were still evolving, South Park pushed the boundaries and pushed the limits of what was acceptable. In contrast to today's climate, where even a slight misstep can result in severe repercussions, the show enjoyed more freedom back then. Nonetheless, it is essential to recognize that certain jokes, once considered comedic, didn't quite resonate with the majority and may be deemed inappropriate or offensive. That is what happened on April 14th and April 21st of 2010, when 2 new episodes of the 14th season of South Park would be aired. First, some background about what these 2 episodes are primarily about. Episode 200 starts with the people of South Park making fun of Tom Cruise because he works at a fudge factory. After Tom Cruise gets insulted for being a fudge packer, Tom Cruise claims he will sue South Park if he does not get what he wants. That one thing that Tom wants is to speak with Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam. And you can kind of see why a certain audience of people didn't take these 2 episodes so lightly. You see, in Muslim belief, they believe that visual depictions of all prophets of Islam are prohibited and are highly against any visual representations of Muhammad. So it's absolutely prohibited in Islam belief to have Muhammad pictured in any way. And in episode 200, they showed Muhammad a couple of times. However, you may notice that wherever Muhammad is supposed to be, it's censored. So the whole premise of episode 200 and 201 is basically about celebrities wanting to extract goo from Muhammad because the celebrities believe he is the only celebrity who cannot be made fun of, and thus the celebrities want that power that Muhammad possesses. Now, because Muhammad was visually presented in episode 200 and episode 201, they were almost immediately censored. They both censored any mention of Muhammad. At the end of episode 201, they even went as far as censor the entire speech of Kyle, which sounded something along the lines of this. Now, originally, neither of the episodes were meant to be censored. However, due to the amount of death threats the creators were receiving from radical Muslim groups, Comedy Central decided to censor any relation with Muhammad. the original creators of South Park, Matt and Trey, didn't like how the episodes were censored by Comedy Central, so that even brought more controversy into the mix and led to them receiving even more death threats. This led to a variety of South Park episodes being censored, such as episodes like Super Best Friends and Cartoon Wars. The uncut speech version of episode 201 from South Park's 14th season was never officially released. Although it was included on the home video release of the season, it was censored on TV and not available on the show's official website. However, in 2014, someone discovered that the uncensored version was actually on the website's servers, but it was inaccessible. Nonetheless, the user managed to download it in high definition and shared it online. Comedy Central at the time, the network that airs South Park, didn't acknowledge the leak, but the uncensored version of another episode called 200 was included on a DVD release of the season. Till this day, there has been no uncensored footage of Muhammad in episode 200 and 201. Now, I have been able to find other episodes containing Muhammad in it, such as Super Best Friends, but as for episode 200 and 201, those uncensored episodes remain as lost media. Undoubtedly, television has undergone a remarkable transformation in recent years. With the advent of new services and platforms facilitating the accessibility of information and content, the conventional utilization of television has witnessed a significant shift. Presently, the conventional usage patterns have evolved, and the prominence of wire transmissions akin to prevalent in the 90s has significantly diminished. In today's interconnected landscape, where most devices are seamlessly linked to the internet, television hijacking incidences have dwindled considerably, reflecting the changing dynamics of the media landscape. Although television has evolved in many ways, television hijacking has had its fair share of incidences in the past, such as the alien species hijacking that occurred back in 1977.
Stopping the execution of all captured prisoners of war, allowing Bureau to take negotiation, being arrested. In Australia, Mr. Kerry Packer's cricketers are still pleading yesterday's High Court decision, which lifts the ban on them playing in Test matches.
This is the voice of Omar, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the skies.
Or the infamous Captain Midnight hijacking that occurred in 1986, where the hijacker protested against HBO's high prices, so he decided just to broadcast his own message. However, there is a certain TV hijacking that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. On November 22, 1987, a television hijacking would take place in Chicago. On an independent television station called WGN-TV, at approximately 9:15 p.m., during the sports report on the nightly news program, an unexpected occurrence disrupted the broadcast. While the anchor was presenting highlights from the Bears game, the screen suddenly transitioned to a peculiar sight. A mysterious figure appeared donning a distinctive brown suit and meticulously crafted latex Max Headroom mask.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I. Actually, the computer that we have running our news from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is start over from the top with the Bears and tell you once again about...
Throughout the whole first hijacking, there was the sound of buzzing static in the background and just silence. The hijacking only took place for 30 seconds until the engineers of the station took control of the broadcast once again. However, only 2 hours later at around 11:15, Another hijacking would take place during an airing of the Doctor Who serial horror of Fang Rock.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
Some dry clothing.
Because he's a freaking nerd. I think I'm better chicks worse than me. Freaking rough. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. That's the way.
Taking advantage of the absence of WTTW engineers, the hijackers seized the opportunity and successfully transmitted their complete message, lasting approximately 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Despite the achievement of delivering their intended content, the audio was still heavily distorted, adding an additional layer of obscurity to their broadcast. Following the occurrence of the two hijackings, a wave of extensive media coverage ensued, leaving the public intrigued and eager to uncover the identities of the original culprits. Nevertheless, till this day, the true perpetrators behind the hijackings remain shrouded in uncertainty. It is worth noting though that the first hijacking received relatively less media coverage than the second one, primarily due to the fact that it had no audio and it was a shorter duration. However, due to the fact that the first hijacking had no audio, it leaves many individuals still pondering what could have been the elusive audio content that was accompanied by the first hijacking. Considering the nature of the hijacking incident, it is highly probable that the perpetrators employed two distinct pre-recorded video segments. Consequently, it is reasonable to assume that the unaired audio from the initial broadcast remains within the possession of the hijackers. So it's likely that the hijackers have this lost audio that wasn't transmitted in the first hijacking. However, it's very unlikely that the first audio hijacking will ever see the light of day, as it most likely will be traced back to the original hijackers' identities. So, the first hijacking audio transmission will probably remain as lost media for quite a while. Within the realm of horror, there exists a captivating fascination with otherworldly scientific concepts, driven by an underlying fear that defies precise description. This genre garners significant intrigue from its audience, with one notable tale standing out. I Have No Mouth, and I Must Scream. Published in 1967, it is regarded as a timeless classic in science fiction horror. This renowned short story was penned by an acclaimed author, Harlan Ellison. Such was its impact that it soon garnered immense popularity, leading to its adaptation into an adventure video game released on PC in 1995. The game, developed by Cyber Dreams in collaboration with Harlan Ellison himself, earned a reputation for its unsettling and somber nature. However, upon the game releasing, fans noticed that certain portions of the game were cut and not officially released. But before we get into that, let me give some context about what the story is even about. The premise of the story is about this post-apocalyptic world set in the future. In this post-apocalyptic future lies a very powerful supercomputer named AM. According to the story, Am gained self-awareness and destroyed all of humanity due to his resentment towards his creators and humanity. Except he decided to keep 5 individuals alive for his own enjoyment. Those being Ted, Benny, Ellen, Nimdok, and Gorster. Throughout the story, Am tortures these survivors physically and physiologically, manipulating their bodies and minds to inflict unimaginable suffering. Each character has a tragic backstory and faces their own personal torment. They desperately search for an escape from Am's sadistic control, but Am constantly thwarts their efforts, reminding them of their helplessness and ensuing their eternal agony. That is kind of the whole gist of the story, a quite terrifying story to say the least. The story was soon turned into a game where players can play as the survivors and play through a similar story themselves. However, upon players playing it, they noticed that certain scenes were not in the game when the game was showcased. In 1995, the British TV show called Games Master had a gore special episode where they showcased shocking moments from video games. Among the games showcased was I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
But this had nothing on I Have No Mouth, but I Must Scream. What? Thrown into a world where everything is falling apart, you're forced to make tough ethical decisions, like, what do I feed the dog to get it to help me? Answer? The heart of one of your mates. This game is officially mental, and when push came to shove, we even had to eat some baby food.
The original game adaptation of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream featured certain intriguing deviations from the story's core scenarios. For instance, the showcase depicted a chilling meat locker scene where bodies were suspended, while the official release showed only 2 meat bodies. Furthermore, instead of encountering a puppy on the screen, players interacted with a jackal in the game. These alterations, alongside other notable changes, raised questions about the motives behind their omission from the final version. While the exact reasons for these scenes being cut remain unknown, speculation suggests that concerns over potential controversies or considerations regarding pacing and atmosphere might have influenced the decision. It is possible that certain scenes were removed to avoid stirring up any controversial discussions or to maintain a specific flow and ambience within the game. Additionally, there were intriguing reports of an entire subplot being deleted as well, altering the outcomes for different characters within their respective scenarios. Till this day, the original version of the game has yet to be found, and I doubt it will ever be released, so I believe the original version of the game will always be considered as lost media. Lost media is an endlessly captivating subject to explore, a realm of obscure treasures waiting to be rediscovered by online users after years of elusiveness. Scattered across the vast expanse of the internet, there lie thousands of enigmatic artifacts yearning to be found. From elusive videos and forgotten TV shows to cryptic images, vanishing video games, and even the echoes of lost audio, each fragment awaits its moment in the spotlight. Although I've long desired to delve into this fascinating topic on my channel, I hesitated due to its popularity and the extensive coverage it has already received on YouTube. Uncovering lesser-known lost media can be quite challenging, making it seemingly paradoxical to call it lost if it has already been widely discussed online. Nevertheless, the allure of lost media remains as a popular topic discussed nowadays, and it's always fun exploring these intriguing tales at the end of the day. Today, we touched upon some captivating examples that I personally found that piqued my interest. However, I soon wish to return to this topic and see if I can find any more pieces of lost media that maybe pique my interest. Maybe I can find some lost media that has actually been lost. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see. Stay safe and take care.